Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's gathering. Just seeing a few of the names popping up here on the screen. Welcome to Nick. Nick is just joining us this evening to just see how we do this, so that there's a possibility they can do it as well. Nick is from Skellingthorpe Camera Club, so he just having a look at us, see what we do. Who else has joined us? Bob, Peter, Graham H, Jim, Alan, Caroline and Dave. I think I've said Jim. Tony's there, Gail and Jill. So we're showing a number of 12. If somebody could just let me know that you can hear me okay, that would be appreciated. Just to make sure that things are coming through. We've got a few notices before we get going again. I will wait just until 7 o'clock as usual. Hi Neil. Doreen. Loud and clear. Thanks, Graham. I was wondering whether anybody had heard me. I was just beginning to panic. Yeah, it's funny actually, because the remarks are coming through coming through thick and fast now. Evening, Michael. Evening, Neil. Right, Caroline. Hi, Caroline. Yep, we've got all of that. I've heard everybody fine, so that's good. As I say, we're just going to wait until 7. Make sure that we get the last one or two. If you haven't done so yet, as per the image you're looking at on the screen, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell just to make sure that you get notified of any future videos. Neil is a little bit busier now because he's doing a bit of work, but Neil and myself are doing little videos that go on here as well. Not very often, but you know, it does let you know when something new's gone on. So hi Paul, just seen you pop up. So hi Paul, I've said hello to everybody. Mark, hi Mark. Yes, Graham. I only had 2 late nights, an hour and a half each outside. Just did the test of the Canon against the Olympus. Unfortunately, and possibly our members will have seen on the Facebook page that unfortunately the 2 nights were quite different, so it wasn't really a fair representation. So Bob's put lost sound. I'm hoping that everybody else hasn't. I can see the sounds working okay at my end, so nobody else has said anything, Bob. So hi Michael Hughes, hi, welcome to this evening. We've just got a minute to go yet, so we can then get going with a couple of notices. We've got about 19 or 20 people. It keeps popping up and down. So, but as I say, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so, and make sure you just click on the bell to be notified of anything coming through. Thanks for letting us know, Jill and Jim. They it must be just something at Bob's end. Hi Ray. Yep. Right, we will make a little start. Just got a couple of little notices to read out. just a little bit of a verification on my lockdown competition on the 7th of May. You still need your entries into your digital box by the 3rd of May. Put them directly into your own digital Dropbox folder. Just a slight change to this, and something that I didn't know when I set it. Please don't put any macro shots in. Since I sent this out, I've been told, and as you all know, I don't look at the monthly folder because naturally I don't want to see anything that's in there. But I have been told that you've got a macro competition coming up, so the lockdown competition, no macro shots. No macro shots in the lockdown competition. The pictures, just as a reminder, the pictures help not showing yet. Alan, no video yet, Alan. Oh no, you should only just be seeing a picture yet. You won't see me at all this evening because I don't want a picture of me over the top of the pictures that you're going to be viewing. So it's unfortunately just my dulcet tones. So it will be my dulcet tones. Hi Sue. Right, back to this. Pictures for the lockdown competition must be taken on your premises. So anywhere in your garden or inside your house, but not when you go out for a walk. So it is just on your premises, not out and about. So only on your own turf. Right, next one. Bob's monthly competition is still ongoing. That's the and I must admit I don't know whether it's the macro this month or whatever, but don't forget you need your images into the Dropbox by the 20th of the month. So I believe that's right. I'm sure somebody will tell me if I'm wrong, but if somebody could just answer Alan's question there. He just wants to know, what button do I need to press to start? If you can hear me, Alan, there's nothing for you to do to start. If you can hear me, you're okay. You've done it. You will see everything change in a minute. So just hang on in there while I give you the notices. Hi John. So right, so images for Bob's monthly in by the 20th. Also, don't forget his special one-off monthly competition, Landscape Seascape, is in the monthly folder, and it's entitled Landscape Seascape. And you need to get your entries in for that by the 9th of May. So 9th of May. Right, the next competition that we have coming up will be the farming through the seasons. Your entries need to be in your digital folder by the 14th of May, but please don't put them in until Jill has taken the entries out for the lockdown competition. So don't put your entries in until after the 8th of May. After the 8th of May, and that's the farming through the seasons. It's a digital competition only, and you need to make sure that you put your entry form into your folder as well, so that Jill has your entry form, and it's your normal 3 digital entries because this is a digital competition. So digital entries for the farming through the seasons in your digital folder after 8th of May. Right, just to let you know what's happening next week. Next week we're going to have a go at a bit of virtual Camera Club meeting. We're going to have Bob doing his talk on the images that he took whilst he was away in Uganda. So hopefully you'll enjoy those, and hopefully I'll be sat here operating the machinery for him, and you'll be able to see a selection of his images. So right, I'm going to make a start now. I'm just going to check the messages. Alan Crossland is saying thanks, hear the sound but no pics yet. Many thanks. Yeah, you will see the pictures any minute, so it's going to disappear. You'll see my desktop on one of my screens now and again, just as I sort the photos out. So what we're going to start with is a little bit with regards to why, how and what the Scottish photo holidays are all about. The ladies put this in the programme just to share with you what the members do. I'm just looking why this has frozen. Let me just go out of here and bring up a little picture. So it's not playing ball, so if it doesn't play ball, just start again, Graham. So here we go, we'll just put a picture up for you. Right, the whole thing about the holidays was that I, as a professional photographer, was doing the sports photography, as most of you know. I won't say all of you know, but sports photography. And I knew that within a year or two I was going to be selling the business, the sport photography business. So consequently I started doing quite a lot of photo training for the general public, and I started doing the photo holidays. We go up to the Scottish Highlands. We're based just on the outskirts of Aviemore at a little place called Nethybridge. Nice bungalow, plenty of size, etc, etc, etc. So it's a good place to stop. We cater for ourselves and have a jolly good time, and we do nothing but talk about photography. And I have a routine for the week of places to go, but I can't guarantee any of the activities on specific days. We go with the weather, to be honest. The dates that we go is March and November. We've just had the March one. We just got that in before the lockdown, so we managed to go up there. We had a group of 4 of us went this time, myself and 3 others, and I do believe we had a great time. So tonight you will see some of their images as well, plus images from other people who have been up there with me, most of them except for a couple. So the images are in no particular order whatsoever, so there will be flitting backwards and forwards, and because I've been so many times with other people other than Camera Club members, I've got a lot of mine, sorry, I'll start again. Mine are from all of the times I've been up there with other people as well, general public sort of thing. So right, just to remind you, I will stop at 5 to 8 this evening and will resume at 15:15. So it's 5 to 8 for a stop, and we shall resume at 15:15. So onwards we go. We visit absolutely everything when we're up in the Scottish Highlands. We visit churches, cathedrals, we do water, we do bridges, we do anything that you can think of. We do have a little go at it during the week that we're there. This particular image that you're looking at is one that I call 3 Steps to Heaven, I'm just going to get rid of it and put you on full screen. There you go. So it should have gone to full screen. If it hasn't yet, it will do in a sec. This one I call 3 Steps to Heaven. It's some steps that go up and through a little gate into this churchyard. I have absolutely no idea why, but I just thought it was a little bit of a different image, and something a bit different to the norm. Possibility is it could have been for horse riders. I'm not too sure, but it doesn't matter. These images haven't been modified in any way. If there is one that's been modified, I will tell you. In fact, the majority of them are as taken. So, but I will tell you as we come across the images what differences there is. For the members that have been up to Scotland Highlands with me, I thought I'd put a picture in of the funicular railway. This is the funicular railway right at the very top of the Cairngorms at the base station, and once you're at the base station you can get this funicular railway and it takes you up to the ptarmigan restaurant right at the very top of Mount Cairn, or as they call it, Cairngorm. Unfortunately, for the last 4 years, it's not worked. There is faults with the steps. These things holding them up. I can't think of the name for them. And at the moment, it's not been running for 4 years. So it does mean that it needs £5 million to get it going again. So unfortunately, I've not been up on it myself for the last 4 years. I've been up 2 or 3 times prior when I was scouting for the locations, but not recently. This one, it's a quite cropped picture. It's the Osprey, and I thought it was a good picture to put in because of the way that the Osprey has got the fish. Now, this particular holiday was one where I had a gentleman who wanted to go up on his own on a 1-to-1 holiday, and he wanted to go through the summertime, and so we went up to the Cairngorms, and they don't like you going near the ospreys because there's not a tremendous amount in the area, so they do keep it secret. But I had been told where there was an osprey's nest, and so managed to get this picture and crop this one quite heavily, as you can see from the noise on the bird, but I thought it's a good picture to show you the size of the fish that they can take out of the water, and they managed to get them up there. There will be some more pictures later on this as well. So next picture. Yeah, this is back in the cemetery. One thing that we've noticed is that the difference with the Scottish graveyards, there is some magnificent stones to take photographs of, some very large ones and very fancy. And they do, on their gravestones, they also, as well as putting names of their knee, the ladies have, as like the one on the left, Grant, and then they'll put knee Jones or whatever, and also they'll put the title of what the occupation was of the person. So a little bit different, and something quite nice to have a read of and get a little bit of information. Here's one for GH. They have during the brighter months, usually from about late March through to September, they have the steam train running from Aviemore through to near Grantown-on-Spey, and you can get into one or two fields just to get a picture. I've only ever been in the right place once at the right time, and that was, funnily enough, at the same time as a gent came with me and we got the pictures of the Osprey. So just the old steamer, and unfortunately for me it was going downhill, so I've got no smoke. So don't worry, Graham, I won't be putting it in a picture against one of your in a competition against one of yours. There's the Osprey again. Now I put this particular image in because it's a you'll have, sorry, I'll start again, because this is a bird which was digiscoped. I have a large telescope which I can add a camera onto the end, and you can use your camera through the telescope and take the images of whatever. And this was just one that I took a long time ago. In fact, it was this was about 3 years ago when I was up there with people. So just another nice one to show you. It's come out quite well, but digiscoping isn't the best way to go. It's a means to an end. Another one, just some fine detail. I try to get people doing various things. So I like to get people to get detail, and especially detail when it's white birds, because of course everybody lifts the camera up and takes a picture, and by the time they've taken the picture it's blown out the white. So it's just knowing how to set things. So this was just one that I was showing someone how to do it all. So up in Scotland we go up to the Black Isle. You'll all have heard of the weather forecast years gone by, and the Fair Isle and this, that and the other on the weather, Dogger Bank and all these sort of things. Well, this is Cromarty Firth, and Cromarty Firth is where they have a lot of these old oil rigs, and they bring them in to break them up, and within the Firth there's quite a lot of them. And on the last visit in March we managed to get a line of them where there was about 6 or 7 all in a line, and some of them got some good pictures. So you know, just something a bit different, and it doesn't look all that big in the picture, but by hell they are big when you're there. So next one, this was just as we was going along the road not far from where we stayed, just outside of Nethy Bridge. Nice image. We just wanted that island of trees with that floating mist in the background there. Just a nice morning, frosty morning, nice picture with the mist in the background. This is Carbridge, and Carbridge is not far. It's about 10 mile from where we stay, and this particular bridge is one of the most difficult bridges to take an image of because of the blooming light. You always get one side which is bright and one side which is darker, so you have to sort of play about with your settings just to get some decent detail in there. HDR works well on this one, and then we did slow exposures on the water as well, and then we go down, you can go down to the water level and get some more pictures as well. So, but that's a 17th century bridge, and of course if you imagine, if you can see my cursor from the top there, the actual bridge didn't go down as sharp as that. It went down either side, but that's all gone now. So yeah, just another one of the moving water. So we've got the moving water there just to show the what you can do making water milky and getting all of the rocks nice and sharp. Likes my cursor on the right screen. This is an image I took even before I took anybody up there, I went down to Loch Morlick, which is on the way up the Cairngorms, and I took this picture one morning before any of the wind got up, etc. So we've got a fairly still image. It was at the time when I had the work cameras, because if you look at all this dirt on the work camera here, you can see all the noise in the water here, so not good, but never mind. Right, this is a ptarmigan. This is a ptarmigan though during the summer period. Now, to get them during the summer period, you have to go very, very high. If you're going on a hot day, then you really do get a bit of a sweat on it. It's a long way up there to get to these ptarmigans during the summertime. This was June, so and funnily enough, although I knew where to go at the time, I didn't see it. The person that was with me did. So it was with that one-to-one tour chap, and he saw it and he said, "Oh, is that a partridge or what?" No, it's a ptarmigan. So there it is again. It got up. I didn't get any pictures with the head facing me, so it is just with the head facing away, but some lovely detail in there. This is what they call a keep house, and a keep house is a safe house in a loch. And when in years gone by, many years gone by, when one clan attacked another, all of the people could go across to the safe houses, and they could all stay there until they were safe again, and then go off away. Today, I must admit, when I've been there during the summer period, you do get people who swim across to that, the kids and that, so they do go venturing out. Just for anybody who's never seen one, anybody of the who likes taking the picture of the birds, that's a hooper swan, and you can tell that it's a hooper swan because of it's not got the black bill, and the bill is much larger. So there's 3 swans in the UK basically, except for 1 or 2 black swans that have escapees, but there's a hooper, the Buick, and the mute swan. Good old Highland cattle. So we go up and around all of the glens, and we usually see a Highland cow somewhere, and if we can't find them in fields, I always know where there is one, and this is that one that I've shown people in the past, so you'll all have a picture of that if you've been with me. Another close-up of it. This gent was the gentleman who wanted to do the one-to-one tour. That's taken with a 580mm lens that I took it with. He wanted to get a picture of something, and I can't remember what it was at the time, but he says, "I'll go for a walk up there, I'll walk along that ridge, and then when I get fed up I'll walk down again and you can pick me up." So I was just following him in the car. So everybody wants to do different things. So just another nice picture. We go down a place called Findorn Valley, and it nearly went from me there, Findorn Valley, and that was just, I like the way the tree was right up this mountain. Now that was taken with a very long lens, and so hence the reason that I'm looking up at the tree, because it was a long way up. There's the old cow again. It's only a young one, not very old, and it will take grass out of your hand and all this sort of thing, so you can get some goodish pictures with it. I was trying to feed it grass and make it lift its head up and take the pictures at the same time, whilst I was doing it all for somebody else as well. So now there's somebody's hand. That's a member of the Camera Club's hand. They'll recognise their gloves, and we go to a specific place where we can get some good pictures of the crested tits and the birds, the chaffinches, the all of the various tits, etc. So this is a picture that you can do, and I usually take pictures of people feeding the birds if I can, sort of thing. So that's one of them. There is another one of a member, but from one of the other local camera clubs who came with me, which is an interesting one. There's the old crested tit. There's a few things that people go to Scotland for, and this is one of them. This is the crested tit. You only get them in Scotland. You don't get them anywhere else. Of different countries, of course, but not in the UK. So beautiful, beautiful little bird. Very, very fast. You have to be fairly fast to get to it. So it works. When you get them, it really looks nice. Here's one of the Camera Club members taking the pictures of the hares. I took the picture for the Camera Club member as she was taking the picture of the hare, hence the reason the hare's not in focus. But this is how close you can get to the hares. Sorry, Bob, I do apologise at that point. We didn't get anywhere near that close when we went that time, but in November. But this is how close you can get, and there is some more photos in a minute. This is Ruthven Barracks, an old 17th century barracks. It was built when there was building roads, and these people protected the workers building the roads, but it was burnt out in the end when another clan came and fought them and won, and they just burnt it out and left it. To the left there, the town is Kingoosey, so just a place you go through on the way. This is probably about 20 mile away from where we stay. You can see a little bit of snow on the hilltops there. This is another one of the birds that people go up to Scotland for. This is the snow bunting. So lovely, lovely little bird, and we got some really good pictures in March. It's a lovely bird. One of the other 17th century packhorse bridges, just doing the moving water again. And there's two sections to this particular one, but one section is now doesn't get water through it unless there's a lot of water comes down off the mountains. But just nice pictures for you to look at. There's the other side, and of course that middle would have been filled in level so that they can go across, the carts can go across. There's another one of the little old crested tit. As I say, absolutely beautiful bird. I have been to Scotland a couple of times and missed it. If the weather's warmer, you don't see them as much because they go right up into the top of the spruce trees to get the insects from up the top. There's one of the mountain hares. I would be probably about 4 or 5 meters away from that at the time of taking the picture. They will tolerate you and you can get very close, but to get this close, if you're lucky enough, would take probably 20 minutes just to gradually either on your tummy or just crawl along and get the pictures. Another one, not quite as good an image this time, just a little bit too bright on the fur there. We've still got detail in, but not quite as sharp. The sharpness is on the back, but shows you the terrain of all the heather and the bits of snow to the right there that's still left. I absolutely love this picture. This one is possibly one of my favourites. I spent probably 20 minutes with this hare, and it kept standing up, having a little wash, having a little clean, and it was an immense moment. It really was. And this is why it takes you probably an hour and a half to get up to where these are climbing, but when you actually are lucky enough to get there and get this close. Unbelievable. Really is lovely. This is back in Crometry. This is the old dock. It is, I say old, and it is old. They are actually redoing it up a bit at the moment, so there is an image in the minute showing how dilapidated some of it is. That one there. So as you can see down here, all of these steps, all of the concrete is rotten and it's broken away. All of these stanchions, there's hardly any concrete on them anymore. All of this is now derelict. And once again, in this Crometry Firth, you can see the oil rigs. That's just 2 or 3 of them in the Crometry Firth there. So this is right up at the top of the Cairngorms. You can see the conditions that you get up there. I've taken people up there when you cannot stand up. It is that bad that you just have to put your feet out to be able to stand up in the weather. It is absolutely astounding though when you're up there in that sort of weather and you can see all of the snow blowing, etc. So it is wonderful up there. This is Barry. Barry came up with me once, and I said to him we'd get some pictures of one of the birds on his camera lens as he was taking pictures. So I sorted it out and said to this little bird, get on up there, I want a picture with you on his lens. So here's Barry and his little great tit, and he absolutely loves that picture. So blue tit. Just some of the birds that I've taken while I've been up there. Love to get the detail. This is the bow fiddle. We was doing this in March. We never have time to do this on the first holiday, but anybody who comes on the second holiday, we do this, and it's right up the coast. It's about a 2.5 hour ride to get to here. So it does take quite a while to get there, but it's well worth it, and we do get some great pictures. This is very long exposure. We're talking probably about 20 seconds. The waves were quite high, hence the reason why you've got this mistiness around the rock, because it's all that was a wave, and it's flattened out due to the slow exposure. There's a black and white of it, a little bit more dramatic. Excuse me. A little bit more dramatic, a little bit closer up. Love that image as well. And once again, that was with the wave splashing up with a long exposure. We then go to a place called Findhorn. This is, funnily enough, Findhorn and Findhorn Valley are nowhere near each other. They're probably 2.5, 3 hours away from each other. But the reason they call it Findhorn Valley is because the Findhorn River ends up here. So this is why we call it. So just a nice image there. In the background, and you'll probably see now, when Gail came up with us, this was taken in March, all of the little dots all up here are all seals, and Gail was brave enough to walk onto this sea bank across the water and take some pictures, but I must admit she had wellies on and we didn't, so hence she was the only one who got the pictures. Another one up the Cairngorms, same day as the other one, just showing the wind blowing the snow about, and these are all the ski slopes that they come down. Another one from up there. Now down at the bottom here you can see the blowing snow. What they do, they produce snow in places just to so that the skiers can just go down the nursery slopes a bit when there's not enough snow for the high ones. So that's just making a bit. You've all probably in your earlier days heard of the Eider Downs. Well, this is an eider duck. This is where the eider feather comes from for the eider downs. So the pictures, every single picture I've taken of these, I have never taken a picture where I've got the bird's eye yet. Their eye is as black as their for the feathers on the head. So I've never got one really with an eye that's got the catchlight in it. And of course I would never put a catchlight in a bird's eye if it wasn't there. Another one of the Cairngorms, some of the tracks just going up. You can walk for miles and miles and miles. But before you go, you have got to know the weather. Within 15 minutes, within 10 minutes, you can go from a scene like this to a whiteout. So it is extremely dangerous. So you do have to, I have some special weather apps for the Cairngorms that I check if I'm going to take anybody right up in the Cairngorms. This is another keep house. This is on Loch and Daub. Nice still day I managed to get this one on. So it a very, very large keep house, and this is a fairly well zoomed in shot. Chaffinch, another one for Grahame. Place we go up there. It's the very large one. Unfortunately, it's only very, very occasionally that they ever get steam on it. It is a very well used line, and it's electric, etc., diesel electrics. So but it's still nice to do. We take pictures down the bottom, and we take pictures from up here on the top as well. Another one of the old crested tit. Some of you will have seen that picture before. I entered it into a competition a long time ago. Not a particularly good image now. I wouldn't enter anything in like that now. This is a hooded crow. The hooded crow is slowly coming down from Scotland. They've always been part of the Scottish bird scenery, but now they are coming down, and we do get the odd one down here now and again. They're currently down in numbers to about Northumberland, so they are gradually coming down this way. This is another rock from the place called Cullen, up on the coast near Scotland. For those members who can remember John Ferret, John Ferret doesn't live all that far from here. He moved up to Scotland, and I just like this rock sticking out of the water. So very nice image, and once again I've done it on a slow shutter speed so that I can just make that water milky. I do like the smoother water in the seascapes, so and I think the other members that came up with me in March got some great pictures of this as well. Another crested tit, a little bit grainy. It probably was a dark day on this one. Curlew, I'm competing with you here, Jill. A curlew in flight, but I don't like this one as much as yours. I like your black and white one better. We went to a very unusual bridge, and whilst you're walking to this bridge, you walk through what they call Fairy Glen, and it's got lots and lots of little fairy houses, fairy doors in trees, fairies in the trees, and lots of other things as well. So it's interesting, the walk up there as well. But I like this little one. It was one of my favourites, so I thought I'd just put it in. Candle, just trying to get some different shots of things. A little bit noisy, but it was very, very, very dark in there, This is in Inverness Cathedral, and but I just like the colours of the way it was burning up in the flame here, the blues, the yellows and the whites. My brain is racking. I'm trying to rack my brain just to think where that is, and for the life of me, Fortrose Cathedral. I think it's Fortrose Cathedral, and a lovely building. That would be a great building to go back to and do some night shots and light paint it. I shall have to do that one time when I'm up there. So, but lovely place to take some pictures, and the lighting was good on this day. These are Brent geese, but these are a bit of an unusual subspecies. These are white-bellied Brent geese, which we don't see many of down here, but they are in abundance up in Scotland, so they do get quite a few of them. This was taken in March when we was up there, so got some nice pictures of them. In fact, these are the closest pictures I've ever got. I love this little wild goat here. There is another picture. No doubt this one in the foreground is its mum, but this little one didn't want to stay. It was here with mum at the time, but disappeared very quickly. So, but I do love that little one there. Just to show you the times that you can see the hares. I was quite a way off these, and this is a bit of a cropped picture as well, so you do see them, but that's how about as white as they get. So this is a merganser, just another bird that you get a few of up in Scotland, and just like to get something different. This was taken quite a few years ago, so not a brilliant picture, but just a different bird to show you. Now, it's not showing it very well on the screen, funnily enough, because I don't know whether you can see it, but it's showing lines. The original picture was very, very good, but somehow it's gone out. And I just like the mating call, or the mating poses that they do. This is at a place called Troop Head. I do think what's happened here on this particular image, if you get this on your images, this banding and this on the edge, it's because I've double sharpened this particular image, because I was sharpening a few images in batch, and this was an image that I'd already sharpened once, and so basically it's been overdone. Deer, we can see, I say a note, we can see lots of deer. There was probably, I don't know, 150 deer in this collection, and there was a few stags, but the stags don't stay as long as these what I call hinds. So I just got to grab a couple of pictures. Grouse, we see a lot of grouse up there. We managed to take the pictures. You can see how well camouflaged they are. You can just see the rest of it down here, so they do get camouflaged in the heather. The old red squirrel, that's another reason why people go up to Scotland, so to see the red squirrel, and I can usually manage to get images of red squirrels, so we're fairly lucky with that one. Peewit, just a particular image of a peewit. I like the colours on the wings here. Could have done with some sun on the day, really, just to make it glow a little bit more. There's another one for you, Graham. This is on its way out to towards Grantown-on-Spey, and if you notice above here, there's a load of deer up here as well, so we do see them. This was taken once again in June time. So osprey, just coming into land. Now this one had left its nest about an hour before this picture, and the nest is just to the right of where we're looking at it. There is a picture in a minute of the nest as well. The old dipper, get some pictures of the dippers. So this one was so obliging. I sat on a this picture actually was taken when I was looking for some places to go, and I was on my own, well, with Di, my wife, and I just had a short while sat on this bank, and it was just at the other side of the river, probably about 3 meters away. So really good, lovely birds, absolutely lovely. Great spotted woodpecker, a little bit out of focus, but just to show you the colours. This was that bird that I showed you earlier. This is the nest. Now the nest is probably about 2 meters, 2.5 meters across it, and about 1 meter deep. So and this bird used to walk to the front of the nest. The wind's blowing from the left, and he would just put his wings out a little bit, let the wind take him up, and then just flap a little bit and gradually increase the strength in his wings. But if you look at the claws, the way the claws are ready to grasp at anything if it all goes wrong. Look at that one. That's one of possibly my best images of the osprey little ones as they was practicing doing the takeoffs. Very difficult birds to get the pictures of if you don't get the right weather. So hence the reason we've got a blown out sky. So, but he got to that height, and then he went a little bit higher, and unfortunately the wind took him and he couldn't get back on the nest, so he had to fly off to that other branch that you saw earlier. Another gannet, much better image. We haven't got that banding in the background now, so it just shows them a little bit better. Another one just to show you the gannets. My brain's being racked again, but this is the only time I ever saw these up here. Northern diver, great northern diver, beautiful bird, and I was with that bird probably for about an hour trying to get some pictures, but they're very, very shy. Some old buildings, we do dereliction. So we've got the old derelict farm here. This is just before we set off to go up towards where we go to the hares. So another gannet, just something left on the top of a post, so I thought I'd take the picture of the bits and bobs. So just rushing through these because I want to get through my images if I can before we break in a few minutes. So some red kite, some coltit, the gannets again, the osprey flying, the gannet as it was looking at me with some dirt blobs at the top of the image, the old osprey again, another woodpecker. I sat in my car taking these pictures. It was snowing like hell, and it was just like the way it got the white background. That's when you well up the hill on your way to see the hares. So my car was the Toyota at the time, this red one here. So another white hare, another good image. Yeah, I see that, Nick, no problem. You zoom after you break. Yep, no problem, Nick. I'll speak to you again sometime. Another picture of the hare, Ruthven Barracks on a sunnier day. Another grouse, snow bunting in the snow. That'll come to me in a minute. It's lecht mine. So there used to be a mine. They used to mine up here on the left into this hillside, bring it into here, produce it, and then cart it off down the valley. Another woodpecker, great tit. You do see the odd brown hair as well, and this one I was fortunate enough to get real close to it, so it does give you some detail of the fur, etc. Chaffinch, female chaffinch, inside Inverness Cathedral. The snow on the top of the mountains, although that looks fairly small to the eye, it is very, very large. So, but get some lovely pictures. You do get a lot of haze on it though, and if you try to remove the haze with dehaze, say, or something like that, it does alter the picture. So I like it to be left as it is. There's the old goat again. So thanks Jill, just see that pop up. The old goat there, got really close to them once. Another red kite. Now here's a ptarmigan. There's a few pictures of ptarmigan, so we'll just flash through them. Lovely, lovely bird to take photographs of. I was with these for about 3 to 4 hours. Absolutely, possibly one of my favourite excursions to get up there to get these ptarmigans. More inquisitive one looking at me. I'm probably about 7 or 8 meters away from them at this point. That's a female. So they are, this was about April time, so they are changing back to their summer colours, to the summer brown again. Greenfinch, another hare, another crested. This is a hare changing back to its colours. Well, I'm not sure which way it's going. I think it might be going, yes, it's going into its white colour there. Red squirrel, bridge. This is one of the bridges we go to, and I just like the way this tree was up the side. Red leg, partridge, red squirrel again, and again. Inverness Castle. That's Inverness Castle. It's not one that you can go round. They use it as courthouses, so you're not allowed in it. Ruthven Barracks, inside the barracks. There's a picture of a red kite feeding on flight. So it's got its meat. They don't kill, they just scavenge. So they go on carrion. So, but this is it feeding in flight. Another hare. Love the red kites. I must have thousands and thousands of pictures of red kites from when I've been up there. Detail on the back. Absolutely love the detail on the back. So, osprey. That's just showing you the detail underneath. Not a particularly good picture. We're just coming up to 5:2, so when I do get to 5:2 I will break, and we'll meet back again at 1:15. Pheasant, cockbird. These are pink-footed geese. Grey plover. Red kite. Red squirrel. That's a redshank. This is Rogie Falls. So that's Rogie Falls. Purple sandpiper. That's a siskin. Snipe. It's just a multi-image shot. It's just made up of 4 images and then just stitched together in Photoshop. 3 flying hooper swans ready to put on my wall. A woodpecker again. I'm going to stop. I think I'm nearly there, but wren, snow bunting, little church, the rock again. Oh, them two was one with a sky put in, one without. Yeah, I'm going to leave it now because it is 5 to, and I know people want to go out. So we'll see you again at 1/4 past, because I know there's a special thing on tonight for Captain Tom. So we'll see you at 8:15. So until 8:15, just join in again at 1/4 past. Bye for now.